obviously being in Eugene, you're jumping into a rivalry now that you know about, Oregon and Washington. What was your experience with that rivalry when you were at Oregon?
Yeah, it was a heck of a rivalry. I think at the time, the tables were turned a little bit. I think Washington was doing pretty well, and when I was at Oregon, we had our sights pretty set on trying to beat Washington, and I think we got them once or twice, and so then it started to turn into a rivalry.
Right, exactly. I want you to reflect a little bit on your time in Eugene. What was that? What did that time mean to you?
Oh, it was great. Basically both of my kids were born, in Oregon, and spent 6 great years there. Mike Bellotti was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Great assistants there. Half the assistants are still there, and really, love those guys and have good friendships with those guys. So my time there was really special when I was there.
Do you? Who on the staff are you close with? Are you close with any of the guys?
This business that we're in is 24/7. We're always so busy, but I consider myself close to all those guys that I coached with.
Sure.
They were, Gary Campbell and Don Pelham and Tom Osborne and Steve Graywood.
Right.
And, Jimmy Radcliffe was there. I mean, all those guys are awesome people.
Did you interact with Mark Helfrich at all?
Well, and certainly him. He was there as well.
Was he GA at the time?
Was
that right when you were there? Was he your GA or was he?
Well, he was on offense.
Right. Sure.
He did a great job, and there's no doubt we knew he was going to be really, really good.
Is that pretty cool now to see where he's at and where you're at as well?
It's awesome.
Yeah. How's it been being in Seattle?
Great. Just getting adjusted. You got to kind of go through a year of the cycle, I think, to really get comfortable. Yeah. But it's been good. It's been a good move.
I'm sure you've been asked this a lot, but what was it about Washington that finally made you leave Boise?
Well, I'm a West Coast guy.
Yeah.
Competing against Washington for so many years, always had tremendous respect for them. I think the university's wonderful. The support, the fan base, they're passionate about football. All those things added up to where it's a place I wanted to be.
Was it difficult to leave?
Oh yeah, I think when you're a good place for a long time, that's never easy.
You guys were the big dog of a conference for so many years, and now you're coming in to a very competitive conference. Right. It's going to be obviously a little different for you. How do you get Washington to the level that Boise was at relative to the rest of the league?
Well, yeah, it's a process for sure. And, my job, taking the Washington job, my life got harder. There's no question about it.
Sure.
I mean, because there's so much parity in this conference. And, what Oregon's done is amazing. I mean, they've been clicking on all cylinders for a while. And, I think everybody's, knows that and trying to get to that level. But it's tough.
You guys at Boise State were one of the few teams to beat Oregon in kind of the new, since Chip came, and then in the new era and with their offense.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was his first game ever as head coach that won, and then you also beat him in Autzen the year before. But how were you guys able to stop that offense, which a lot of teams haven't been able to do?
Yeah, I mean, our guys just played really, it comes down to players. It really does, and our kids played really, really well, and played very emotional football, and we probably had one of those nights that it all just clicked for us.
Right. You've got a quarterback competition, I suppose.
We do. It's a little bit unique because everybody seems to have their quarterback back in the Pac-12 except for us, and I think Arizona. So we're trying to figure out. That'll be one of the things that we're figuring out through fall camp.
How important is it for you to have a set guy?
Well, I think it always makes things easier when you got a guy and you know what he can do.
Yeah.
But that's college football. It's called graduation. And eventually these other 10 guys are going to move on and graduate as well. So, but yeah, I mean, that's one of the key positions that we got to develop, and we got to have a guy that's ready to go.
Cool. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it.